Right, so, if you've ever tried to build a lending forecast from scratch, you know the drill. You get handed a template someone else built. You spend a fortnight fixing the bits that don't work, and by the time it's running cleanly, your assumptions have moved on and you're rebuilding again. Or the other extreme. You've got a full regulatory system, cost the bank a fortune. One person knows how to drive it. You can't change an input without raising a ticket. I sat in that gap for years. This is what I built to close it. Let me walk you through it. Every tab is open. No locked cells, no hidden macros, no proprietary add-ins. That's deliberate. The model isn't a black box. Anyone on your team can pick it up and see exactly how the numbers come together. And if whoever set it up leaves, which happens, nothing falls over. One dropdown runs the whole thing. Base, upside, downside. I change it here. And every number on every tab recalculates. Portfolio, margins, provisions, capital ratios, all of it. 3 scenarios in an afternoon. Not 3 rebuilds over 3 days. Now this is the tab that holds everything. Every assumption in the model lives here. There are no hard-coded numbers on the other tabs, which, if you've inherited enough spreadsheets, you'll know is the thing that makes most of them a nightmare. 3 scenario columns, 1 selected column, 1 formula that pulls from it. That's the pattern. So when someone asks, what if funding costs rise 50 bps? You change 1 number. When an auditor wants to walk through your assumptions, you open this tab. It's all here. No spreadsheet archaeology. The categories cover what a bank actually has on its balance sheet. Opening positions, origination volumes, contract rates, rate trajectory for new business, prepayment, default, loss given default. IFRS 9 stage splits, risk weights, recoveries, fees, funding, opex, tax. 8 products, mortgages, buy-to-let, CRE, SME, corporate, unsecured consumer, credit cards, government guaranteed. Each one parameterized separately. Because treating a credit card book like a mortgage book is how you get a forecast that doesn't survive first contact with the credit committee. The engine is where the balance sheet actually rolls forward. Monthly, per product, 60 months out. Opening balance, originations, scheduled repayment, prepayments, defaults, recoveries, closing. Same 7-row structure for every product. So nobody has to relearn the logic between books. And here's the bit I care about. Every month's opening pulls from the prior month's closing. Always. No circular references in this workbook. The reason that matters: models break silently. You change 1 input, something 3 sheets away drifts, and nobody notices until the numbers are in front of someone senior. That doesn't happen here. The structure won't let it. You can trace any number back to the input that drove it, which, if you've been in finance long enough, is rarer than it should be. This is the tab I'm proudest of. It's what separates this from most lending templates you'll have seen. A lot of models treat the loan book as a flat rate, every pound earning whatever the current rate is, which is just wrong. A loan I wrote 3 years ago at a lower rate is still earning that rate, and it will for years. That back book is a real thing on the P&L. Here, every monthly origination is its own cohort. The rate locks when the loan's written. Total interest income is a weighted sum of every cohort still outstanding. If you're forecasting NIM through a repricing cycle, and with rates where they've been, every bank is, this is what you need. Without it, you overstate the benefit when rates rise. You understate the drag when they fall. Both end up in a board meeting, nobody wants to be in. You can set a rate trajectory too. Step new business rates annually from one input. The back book keeps bleeding down at its original yield. New vintages lock at the stepped rate, which is how a repricing cycle actually plays out. IFRS 9. Properly done. 3-stage per product. Each product's balance gets split across Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3, using allocations you control. Stage 1 is performing, 12-month PD. Stage 2 is significant increase in credit risk, lifetime PD, capped at the loan's term. Stage 3 is credit impaired, exposure times LGD. That's what the standard actually says. Not a single provision percentage doing the same job in a different jumper. Flip to downside. Stage allocations migrate. Stage 2 coverage widens. Provision stock moves. Cost of risk changes. All tied through to the P&L. Capital next. Standardized approach. Risk weights calibrated to CRR2. Every exposure class mapped. Mortgages, buy-to-let, CRE, SME, corporate, consumer, cards, government guaranteed. Operational risk is in there too, via the basic indicator approach. All live. Total RWA, indicative CET1, CET1 ratio, all updating in real time. So when someone asks what happens to capital under stress, you've got the answer before the meeting's over. And the P&L is fully wired. Interest income from the engine. Cost of funds on average earning assets. Net interest income. Fees, opex, provisions. From the ECL tab, tax, net profit. Retained earnings feeding back into capital. Nothing to reconcile by hand. Analytics is where this starts being useful in a board pack. Yield decomposition. Gross yield, less cost of funds, gives you NIM. Less opex, less cost of risk, gives you pre-tax return on assets. 5 rows, 1 column, and you can explain the economics of the book to someone who doesn't live in finance. The NIM bridge below breaks the change in net interest income into volume, rate, and mix. Same decomposition ALM teams build by hand every quarter, except it's in the model, live. Two-way stress tables at the bottom. Rates against default rates, rates against origination volume. The kind of question a board member asks you on the spot, worth having an answer ready. Last tab is the integrity layer. 16 checks reconciling the model against itself. Portfolio balances, interest totals, provisions, stage allocations, capital thresholds. If any fail, this master cell goes red. If it's green, you can trust what the model's telling you. That's the check I ship with every model, because it's the thing that separates a model you rely on from one you just hope is right. Honestly, I built this because I couldn't find one I was happy using myself. The options out there were either too simple or too locked down to adapt. This sits in the middle, serious enough for a board, transparent enough that anyone on your team can pick it up and run with it. If that sounds useful, it's on sfsmodels.com under lending. Thanks for watching.